One. All right. Bang, bang. I got to get a soundboard. So I can be like, pew, 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 pew. Yo.
I'm crying.
Yo, I welcome y'all to the next episode of Sound of the Soul. This is a research project I'm doing as part of Jefferson University as I'm interviewing independent Philly music artists. I'm hoping to find a way to reduce the financial burdens we may face, yo. We need to give independent artists their money, but also shine a light on what they're doing, how they're getting their following, and what they're doing in their career, yo. I'm just trying to shine a light on the beauty of Philly, man. So,
Okay.
yeah, let's do this. Let's do this, yo. So, as I said, Malachi Atkinson, yo, for this interview for you, I just want to let you know it is open-ended.
Okay.
Answer any question as much as you want, but if there's a question you don't want to answer, I'm getting too much in your business, you be like, yo.
I'll be like,
Yeah, shit. Nah.
Stop.
Yo.
Mind your business.
A little bit sound like that, but yo.
Okay.
Yeah, but otherwise, yo, so just answer as truthful, as honest as possible. Yo, all that matters is you right now, yo. You're the star of the show, all right? So I thank you for being a part of this, yo. You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Of course, yo. So first question, yo, is an introduction, yo. Let the world know who you are, what type of music you make, and how long you've been doing this.
Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Shauna Moon. Okay, and I make hip hop and rap music, although I do like trap, soul, and R&B music. So we'll see if I'll migrate into those categories. But I kind of just make music that I like to make.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, we'll see as time goes what that gonna be.
Yeah, of course.
And then for how long? This is actually a really interesting question because I'm actually pretty new to music in some sense. Like I didn't release my first track until 2020, like in 2020. And then like I used to play around a little bit with music in like late 2018 because I had originally lived in Massachusetts and then I came back down here because Massachusetts cold. Ain't nobody want to live there.
Yeah. Yeah, facts.
So then I was like playing around, but I didn't take it seriously. Yeah. And then 2020, I had released a song snippet on Instagram, and other people started reaching out to me and was like, "Oh, I would love to hop on this song." And I was like, "Song?" I was like, "I just made this for fun." So after that, I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we can make it a song. Whatever you want to do." And that was called "Beautiful Black Child." And then I was like, "I don't got anything on streaming networks." I was like, "How y'all do this? How y'all set this up?" And a week before that, I put another song that I was like, "Oh, this is like a placeholder," and I threw that on there. And 2020 was when I kind of started making music.
That's what's up, yo. But yo, that's one way to get into it. Like you don't even know you're doing it, but people was like,
right? I was like,
messing with it. Like
you taking this serious? I guess I will too.
Of course, yo. That's a beautiful thing. You know, a lot of people started these kind of journeys in 2020 though. Like that pandemic times kind of really made us all like really rethink how we live our lives. And like, yo.
Yeah. So the funny thing is though, the time that I had released that song was actually prior to the pandemic started in March, so that was in February because I had released it for Black History Month. It was just like 2020, like each year I try to focus on a year of growth.
Yeah.
So like on 2020, I was like, I'm gonna make more content, I'm gonna do more things, I'm gonna try more stuff. And then, obviously, pandemic hit. I was like, all I was doing was making content.
Yeah.
Nothing else to do in the house.
Yo, facts. That's really how it happens.
Yeah. So I was like, so it's been fun. It's been fun.
All right, that's great, yo. That's amazing. So, from the beginning of your journey, what kind of success have you seen in your music career?
What type of success? I think the biggest things was being asked to perform. So I performed a good amount of times. I think the biggest performance or like the most fun performance I had was at the Carefree Black Girl Festival here in Philly.
Nice.
That was I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm really on the stage and I'm out here doing this. But I had done like little club appearances or showcases, and I've done some in New York City, in Trenton, and one time I drove myself down to Baltimore. So that has just been an interesting suit. I was like, wow, I'm really performing like my music on the stage, and this is what I do now.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah.
So that has been a big success. I feel like what I really try to see is, I guess this is more so a personal success for me, is kind of seeing the growth of my own like lyricism and like craft, I was like, okay, and also music quality, because when I first released the song, I did that myself. I was like, we gonna figure it out.
Yeah, that's great.
And but now I'm like working with other people, like seeing how they make their sound, how they mix or master songs, or like where people, I was like, oh, you make custom beats, or just like hearing other people's journey, and then how that looks like for my journey has been its own type of thing.
Yeah.
And just growing with that has also
it's a really fun process, ain't it? Yeah, for sure. Yo.
Tiring.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot, yo. We're gonna get into all those types of yeah, we're gonna get into all that, yo. But for sure. But for right now we're gonna keep it positive. So like, yeah, so talking about performing on stage, yo, that's a big deal. You say you done it a few times, so you're not a rookie to the game when it comes to that.
Yeah, so not funny, but like I actually enjoyed performing a lot as a kid. So like I had taken acting lessons, I've done plays, I've done dance recitals, dance performances. So I wasn't brand new to a stage. Like I liked the idea of performing and putting on a show. Yeah. It was more so doing it in the capacity of, oh, this is my own music, this is my own brand, and this is what people see, and then revving up the energy of that has always been a thing that, like, oh, I want to make sure that I'm not just having a good time, but everybody else in the room feels like they're having a good time, and they feel lifted up. Especially, I feel like, as a newer artist, not everybody knows everything that you have being put out. Like, they don't, like, some people are brand new to my music, so how do you bring them in? Like, how do you let them hear your music and your sound and, like, enjoy that sound with you? Yeah.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to your performances, like, how much time goes into it before you even get on that stage, yo? Like, what's the practice runs like? Like, how much time does it take to get there, get everything set up? What's that like? Yeah, the part that people don't know, yo.
So it all depends. But like I think the thing that people take for granted is just like the travel time and getting ready in general, just for one show.
Of course.
So like I remember one time, like, I drove 2.5 hours, and then, like, I was getting ready an hour and a half beforehand, and they were trying to do, like, shots and everything and runs, and then I'm practicing in the spaces prior, be like, okay, like, how are we going to run the show? What is going to be the set songs? Like, what is the set list for this? Like, how much time do we have? What is the lineup? Like, where do I fit? Like, when do I go on? Yeah. So thinking of all that, like, it's hours of time of preparation before you even get to do a performance that might all be of, like, maybe 10, 15 minutes.
That's insane. That's insane.
I was like, oh my God, I did all that work.
Oh my goodness. And do they, like, help you with the process? And, like, what type of help do the people that book you for the tour, or do you book yourself? Like, I don't know how that works.
So the best way that I feel like this has gone out really well is that I've either been reached out to do performances, which does not make it easier. Yeah, I would have to say that. It helps in the sense that, like, I know I'm supposed to be there. Yeah. So like,
at least I got the invite. That's true.
Right, I got the invite, and I know the time. Yeah. And the time that you might be told is not the time that you might actually go on. Like, it's just like, I know a time that they would like me to be there, and I know that I'm supposed to be there. That's that's the difference between being asked to perform versus booking it myself. I think the best way that I found to do your own bookings is just, like, reach out to people, just send cold emails, or say, like, oh, this other person referred me. If you know somebody that referred you, do something. Check out to see, like, what block parties are going on, what type of, like, festival or events, because people are always looking for people to perform. Yeah. So I did that, where I would reach out and I'd be like, hey, I saw that you're having this event. Like, I was wondering if, like, I could perform. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh yeah, we were actually looking for somebody. This, and I'm like, okay, great. Now I know that because I'm the one that asked for
Of course.
And they'll tell me a time they would like me to get there, and usually you send, like, MP3 files of your set list to whoever is going to be DJing the event, and then you check in with the DJ when you get there, be like, you got my music. Because if they don't got your music, then you'll be like, all right, let me send it, I can airdrop it or something. And you try to figure that out, but that's how that goes, where it's a little bit easier because, like, at least I know what I planned and what I'm going to be there versus being asked to be like, are you free on this random date at this time?
Yeah,
and
true.
And they'll give you, like, not even slow, like, fast turnaround. They'll be like, oh, are you free in, like, a week and a half? Like, what?
Excuse me.
I was like, first of of all, I'm booked for the next month. I'm like,
yo, excuse me.
I'm like, my schedule gets busy. Kids ask me things like,
For
like,
sure.
No, I don't mind being asked things last minute, but like, it is a big thing where they're like, oh wait, they're scrambling and they need somebody, and you know, you fill in the space. So.
Of course, yo, man, that's a lot. That's a lot. It's like a whole new world that I don't even know about. Yo, like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's dope. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a lot of time that goes into that, man. All right, so that's just the touring. All right, that's just like you're not even. Well, I guess it is touring, yo. That's really is touring, cause just
I had gotten invited to go to Columbus. I was not doing to Columbus, Ohio. I was like, that's fine.
True.
And like the thing is, like just like how you hear about like people being on buses and vans and stuff, like it's actual buses and vans. Like that's how they like transporting people. And I was like, they were like, yeah, the meetup spot's gonna be in Baltimore, the bus, and from there we're gonna go to Columbus, and that's when we do a show. And I was like, I got work.
Yeah, oh my gosh, and that's a big struggle, yo. It's a huge struggle. Oh my gosh,
so
yo.
I was like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I appreciate the offer. So that is what it's like.
Yeah, for sure, man. So so that's the touring side. Then now, what about your overall music career? Like, how much time goes into that then?
I feel like it all depends. I'm not the best person for this question because, like, I know there are people that, like, churn out music. Like, they are constantly hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's just not my creative process. Like, most of the time, like, I'll throw on a beat and I'm like, oh, I'm in a mood. Let's make some music.
Yeah.
Or, like, I'll have a plan. I'll be like, because I'm big on planning, so I'll be like, oh, I want to work on this EP, and then I'll be like, this is the genre, and these are the type of songs, and this is how I want to put this together.
Of course.
Or I'll be like, oh, I want to release a single this duration, and then pair this with something else.
Yeah.
So that is usually when I will, like, prepare and put together music. So mine's a little bit more on the strategic end, where I'm like, how can I make sure this is going to be well received? What time frame are we looking to do everything in? And a lot of times when people don't know about music, like especially when it comes to releasing music, because you can make as much music as you want in your free time. Like if I wanted to, I feel like I spend right now more on the industry type side of focusing on the strategy part of like, okay, how do I get more followers? How do I get more listeners? How do I get more streams? Because everything is so...
In this day and age, yo, in this day and age,
Yeah, so it's like you're focusing so much on the promotional aspect.
Yeah.
That takes up a lot of time.
Yes.
But like, when do I actually get to be a musical artist?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't feel like I'm the best person in terms of like how much time am I putting in. I'm just working after work. After I finish work, I'm usually working on some aspect, whether it be promotional material or music, for the music.
Okay. But
so,
that sounds like 24/7 to me. That sounds like.
I'm not too big on the sleep, but the thing is, like, I do a lot of things. So because I have work and then I have the music, but like I'm always running projects of things like I help my mom with her business. Or like I'm doing other side projects. Like I'm thinking 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
Like I've already left whatever year this happens to be.
I don't know what year it is.
Because I'm like, oh, how do we plan to move things forward? But when it comes to music, I just put as much time as it takes me to make a piece. And my favorite thing, I think the quickest thing, is when I do like those little TikTok duets where they're like, little open verse challenges.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those take me so little time. I love it. I just like, I hear the beat, I write something together, and then I record it. And I'm like, post.
Oh, shoot. What type of results you seen from that? Those like open verse stuff?
So it's been real, like, I've gotten a lot more people like, listen to my music, especially on TikTok. They're like, oh my gosh, like, and then I'll get asked by other people, can you do this one? Can you do that one? So it really forces me to do music.
Yeah, of course.
Like, if I didn't have no time, I'm like, well, you gotta make time.
Yeah.
Promise these people you gonna make this. So it gives a new, interesting following base, but I do think the best way to get a nice following base is in person.
Yes.
I don't think anything is going to be in person, like fans or followers of your music, like people that actually support you in real life, because those people on the internet, they're great, but they're not the same as a community in the sense.
True.
A community is.
Because you build that organic, like knowing the person in person. It's like when you see them on TV or you see them online, it's like, yo, like I want to be a part of that because you're in the world, yo. A lot of things people forget is that even in this digital age, yo, everything's about Zoom and all that, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Wazoo.
like I don't.
I
You
live
just
on
don't.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Google meetings.
Oh yeah, that and whatever FaceTime, like whatever, yo, is not. It doesn't never means as much as yo. I'm seeing this person in the flesh. Yo, reading their body language, all that. Cause we're human at the end of the day, yo. So,
Right.
yo, work on that, and you got that energy, yo. Like, just so y'all know, the reason I brought her on is because I saw her perform here at the rec, and I was just like, yo, this whole place was turned. Yeah, I was like, y'all have to get her on, yo. Yeah, so, shout out to Rec, man. Oh my gosh, man. So, all right, so moving on to the next few batch of questions, yo. We're gonna get into more of the ching on the financial side, yo. Yeah, the money. Yeah, so now from the music you've done so far, you know, in your career, have you seen profits from it?
I'm gonna say what everybody else says about music. Music is not as profitable as people think it is. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
It's honestly more of a loss than people realize it is.
Yeah.
Because it costs so much to make one song.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
you pay for the beat, you pay for the mix, you pay for the master, you pay for the time to record it, and then you gotta pay for the promotion, and then you might have to pay dividends to everybody who's a part of the piece.
Damn.
So it's.
Yo.
At that point, and then I think like if you're doing it by streams, I think you get 0.003 something around that cents per stream. So it's like, so that's why I'm saying like a lot of music, and other people have talked about this. Like if you've heard other entertainers and musical artists like big name, they'll talk about like how a lot of the time you're making music from the promotion of the music. So people using it, brand deals. Okay. That is where most of the money actually lies in music. Yeah. So that's what a lot of people try to like move forward to, like mainly industry people like Sony, like a lot of those record labels and companies, they'll try to get it from that aspect. Or you could do like merchandising, branding. Of course. That's where the dollars come in, and when it regards to your music then becomes like a piece that people relate to, and then the items that they purchase is where you gain the cash. So, Same thing with performances. So performances is where most of the money is at, not the music itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what type of profits have you seen from the performances at least? Is that good money at least?
It's okay money. I haven't done enough performances to be like, you know, I'm raking in dollars.
Oh, all right.
Like I would love to do that. It's more so like now I got to figure out my time, because it's always a balance between I got bills and I want to make music.
Oh my gosh. Yo.
Yeah, but it's very interesting in that sense that I do enjoy the process of making music, but it's not profitable right away. It's when you move into the larger aspect and you try to focus on getting all those other materials that I talked about, that's when music becomes truly profitable.
Exactly. And then because right now you're still an independent artist, yo, so you're doing this all pretty much by yourself.
Yeah,
you
I'm
got
paying
your
for
own.
Everything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
I want y'all to understand.
You know, it's a lot. And that's kind of the point of this series, man. We're trying to like figure out a way, all right, how do we make this a little bit better for people that aren't trying to get signed to a label and have their soul taken from them. You know what I'm saying, yo? So, like, for sure. And now you talk about, you know, a lot of money goes into the songs itself. Before we even, like, hop into the studio, yo, like, do you have an idea of, like, how much it costs to make a song per average?
Okay, so I can give you the dollar amounts right now.
Yo, do it. Yo, we letting them know. Yo, letting people know.
So I'll say this. If you're going with a WAV file, it'll probably cost you about $50 on average. And then if you're wanting something between, like, the track stems, you would pay $100. That's if you want more work done to the mixing of the actual beat. So that'll cost you anywhere from $50 to $100. Yeah. Now, when you're getting a mix, you can pay usually anywhere from $75 to $150, depending on who's doing the work off the bat. Okay. Now, when you want to get a master, you would also pay another $50 to $100. This is all one song. Yeah.
I'm already sweating.
Right. And then a lot of times when you want to release a song, you know, you got to have some cover art. Yep. So you could either make that yourself, which I do a lot of photography and graphic design. Where so I just make.
You do that yourself. That's a smart way to do it. Yeah.
I do it myself. And then if you want studio time, usually so for a rec, I think if you do it based off of credits, I don't know how much that could be. But other places you could spend anywhere from like $25 to I would say usually $50 an hour. Okay. So those are usually all the amounts for one song. If we were going for a single. So if you were to like add those up on like a low end, let's say low end, so 75 plus 150, that's 225 plus maybe another 50. You could pay like $275, not including the cover art for one song.
Damn. Damn. Yeah. Yo, it's a lot of work that goes into this, y'all.
Yeah, so that's why when people create EPs and albums, like that's an investment. Singles is the easiest way to like release something out.
Yeah,
because it's the cheapest of all.
Facts. Yeah, because making a whole album, that's doing that for times 10, because you're doing it for 5 to 10 tracks. Yo, it's insane. And now, from those songs, all right. So now you already did all that, right? Pay for the songs, studio time, blah blah blah. Do you ever know that, hey, I did this, I put all this money in? Do you know if you're gonna make that money back when you release that song, or if you do have an idea before you release it?
So that's why a lot of people have been doing promotions beforehand. So like I would, let's say for instance, like everybody know in Philly, Armani White.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Armani White. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Armani White. So like before he even released that song, Billie Eilish, he had done a whole campaign on TikTok posting that song over and over and over and over and over again.
Wow.
And that's like what I meant by music strategy. Like a lot of times people don't have a strategy for their music. I've seen people take a song that they made, finish, and then throw it on a platform.
Yeah, you
like,
can't
that's
just
cool,
do that.
But you're not making no money from that right now. Bro.
Exactly.
Like that was,
it's just sitting there. Yeah.
Most of the time, like if you were to upload things to, let's say, like DistroKid or something, like most places want you to spend at least 2 to 4 weeks prior before you even have the music released, so that they can have time to put it in all the music stores, but also it gives, let's say, if you wanted to submit something to a Spotify playlist, it takes them 2 weeks, and sometimes it takes an additional 3 days for it to even process within their system. So if you're just throwing things on there, you're not guaranteeing that you're gonna get that money back. But if you have a lot of music strategy, like I said with Billie Eilish, where you're like, okay, I might have to push this song for a little bit and then figure out the release date, that's more like a better way to figure out whether or not you're going to get your money back.
Of course.
Other times, it's just a chance. It's a risk. And then you're just going to have to work it up. Like, all right, I'm just going to have to keep grinding and grinding and grinding and hope that I get that money back.
That's insane amount of work. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was like, I'm keeping it 100, okay?
Yeah. Like, but it just shows that you
sugarcoat it, and it's not sugar.
Honestly, no, we giving it to them like, because people know. But it's amazing hearing that whole process, because that's a lot that goes into it. But once it pays off, it really pays off. Like, so honestly, it's do you find it to be worth it?
I do find it to be worth it, because granted, I'm the type of person that, like, money is one thing, but I have to actually enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, of course.
So because I enjoy it, I will always think it's worth it, whether or not I get all my money back from all my music. I put the time and energy, and I loved what I created, and I like growing and seeing where things are going to go. So I will always see it as a great investment, because it was an investment in myself.
Yeah.
But in terms of everything else, I was like, we'll see it when it come and see, but I know everything will work out. Yeah. Because it's me doing it.
Of course, you got some good energy.
I know that it's going to work out because I do it.
No, trust me, you are good, yo. When I'm hearing the way your thought process is going, I'm like, she said, you about your money, but you also about the fun too, though.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to figure out all the numbers, but I'm going to still,
of course,
enjoy myself.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it, yo. That's how you got to do it, yo. I think you already made this obvious, but like the money you've made so far from music, isn't enough to sustain full time yet, or?
Oh no. Granted, granted my job. Love it. Because like I am grateful that I do work from home. So I do have a lot more flexibility than the average person when it comes to doing so. Like if I want to, I do sometimes, like during a little break or something, I'll make music while I'm doing it. I'm in a room full of computers and TVs.
I mean, why not, right?
I do come to write, but I also have my own equipment at home.
Nice.
So like I have my mics, my little audio encoders and stuff like that, and equipment on my computer. So I could do anything at home if I wanted to do it at home. So I have that flexibility. But no, not full time yet. But I'm gonna get there. I got the whole plan, everything, spreadsheets.
For sure, yo. All right, so you getting there, you working, yo. Right, I can tell.
I'm the time. Okay? I ain't get no sleep for a reason, but it's gonna work out.
Yo, I love the positivity, yo. That's how you got to keep it going, man. Yo, because it's a lot of work, but it's worth it, like you said, yo. But so now from here on, what do you say are the biggest burdens you face as an independent artist?
Labels have so much support, and they dominate most of radio and playlists.
Okay.
Yeah, so even if you submit things to playlists, they have the largest support. Like working like with Sony, RCA, everything. Like they have so much more access to getting their stuff out there through radios and, like I said, like algorithmic playlists, whether it be Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. I don't know, but they just have more access to just push their stuff. And I think that's a bigger burden, is that you're competing with other people for a space because they only have a limited amount of slots that they'll put stuff on a playlist.
Yeah.
And you're also buying to put your stuff on there, being like, hey, check out my stuff. But these other companies that already have great buy-in are going to just be like, well, you know who we are, so you going to put our stuff through. Right?
Yeah, true.
Right. So I think that is one of the biggest burdens I'd have. Obviously, I would also say for a lot of people it's money, like being able to afford the project itself. I'm grateful enough to say that I work enough during the day and make enough money during the day that I could afford what I want to do.
Yeah.
Doing in terms of my music right now. I couldn't always say that.
Yeah.
But I did get to the point where I'm like, all right, this is the money I have set aside in order to do projects. I also think just like resources to people, like who you know. A lot of the times when it comes to independent artists, like rec is a really nice place because you can't find other people that do a lot of things. Like you can't find somebody that does cover art, that mix, that masters, and knows how to work all them controls in Studio B. Because sometimes I'll be looking at that and be like, what is this?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but so as an independent artist, sometimes you gotta do everything yourself.
Yeah.
So you gotta take time to learn something that like a team of people would usually have for you. You be like, oh, you gonna handle that. You gonna do management. You gonna do merchandising. You gonna do all the mixes. And I'll just focus on my part. But you got all the hats of everybody else in the room because it's only you there.
Exactly, yo. And, yo, it's a lot, yo.
Like just you in this room right now.
You're right. I know, right, yo. I'm handling all this by myself. I'm like, yo, this will be independent content creator right now, right?
That's the thing, like people have teams and we're out here like, and the great thing, like the best part about that though is that we are doing so much with so little.
Exactly.
Like we are able to accomplish great feats and like make wonderful impacts despite having the least amount of resources. Yeah. To the fact that other people that work at those big organizations, big companies see us as competition. And I love that.
That's amazing, yo. Yeah. Because you know what? They know what the future is, and it's independent, yo. Yeah, and we taking that back, yo. That's really what it's all about. And yeah, you're right. Like speaking of like places like Rec, where this is kind of like having that label level like access where now I don't got to think about how am I gonna afford this equipment and stuff like that because we can come here and use their equipment, and rent it out, yo. So that's like one small like way to make it easier for independent artists. Just we really appreciate it because this wouldn't be happening right now if it wasn't for it. So which is amazing, yo. It's amazing. All right, so I think we talked about money long enough here. Let's bring it back to the more fun side, yo. So how did you get to how did you gain your current following over these years, and how do you continue to grow?
So a lot of the time, even though I was talking about social media in the bad sense, social media has been a big help. Yeah. Also performing, just like doing every like open mic nights, showing up, showing out for people. Like if somebody invites you to do something, be like, hey, can you come out and perform? I'm do it because it's an opportunity to connect with other people that I don't know. Also, a lot of my friends have been really great. Like, I'm so grateful for the people that I have in my life have pushed my stuff to other people and their friends. So I get contacted by like, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know who you are, but thank you so much. And I appreciate it so much because I'm like, I put so much time. So I definitely feel like the following that I have gained has come from doing all those aspects, just being open and being out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing, yo. Yo, keep doing it, yo.
So
Keep
tired.
grinding. It's so tiring. I know. Whew. This is a working lady, yo. She does it during the day, then at night. She grinding again. Yo, oh my gosh, man. We only got a couple minutes left, but also you are on our closing questions, so you did an amazing job, yo. So hey, we killing this, yo. We killing it. So for the people out there, I just say any final thoughts you want to share?
For anybody who's considering whether or not to do music, because I know when I was a kid, a lot of people were like, well, you gotta get a real job. Yeah. I want you to know that making music is a real job, and not also, even if it's just a hobby, just do what makes you most happy.
Of course.
As long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yo, I love it, yo. Pursue your dreams, yo. That's a pursuit of happiness, yo, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yo.
Don't take it for granted.
Don't, yo.
Life.
Yo, live that life for sure, yo. And remind the people of who you are and where they can find you, yo.
Oh, yes. My name is Shauna Moon. Again, A. And you can find me at Shauna Moon, baby, BBY, not BABY, on all platforms. Thanks.
Thank you for being a part of this, yo. That is the sound of the soul. We out. Bing, 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 bing. I need a sound.
But that ash need lotion on your toes.